Ladies and gentlemen, here's an intro written in the calm, deep, meditative style of Shi Heng Yi for your motivational speech, God's chosen ones. You passed its time to tell you everything. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. You have walked through trials that no one else has seen. You have faced storms that only God knew you could endure. And now, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still searching. Life does not reveal its treasures easily. First it tests you, it breaks you, it strips away what is false so that what is real can finally emerge. You may have wondered why it was so hard, why you had to walk through fire. But the truth is this: only those chosen by God are called to such paths. What you felt was not punishment, it was preparation. What you carried was not a curse, it was a calling. Each obstacle, each moment of silence, each night of doubt was sharpening you. Like a sword in the hands of a master, you were being shaped for something greater. Now, the time of silence is over, you have passed, you are ready, and today the truth will be revealed to you. Tests are not punishments, they are preparations. Only those chosen by God are entrusted with the heaviest burdens. Every struggle shapes you into who you were meant to become. Now that you have endured, the hidden truth is ready to be revealed. When you look back on your life, there are moments that seemed almost unbearable. Moments where you wondered if God had abandoned you, or if the weight placed on your shoulders was too heavy to carry. But what you did not see at that time was that every difficulty was not a punishment, it was preparation. Every setback, every trial, every silence was working for something greater than what you could understand in that moment. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it breaks through the soil into light, your life had to pass through the hidden stages of struggle before it could blossom into strength. Preparation is often disguised as hardship. The mountain that blocked your path was not there to stop you, but to make you climb higher. The storm that raged around you was not meant to destroy you, but to test your roots, to see if you were strong enough to stand. What you saw as rejection was God's redirection. What you saw as delay was His training ground. In silence, in waiting, in pain, something powerful was being shaped within you. Think of the way gold is refined. It is not valuable simply because it exists. It becomes pure only when it has passed through the fire. The fire is not cruelty, it is necessity. Without it, impurities remain hidden. In the same way, your life was placed in the furnace of trials not because God wanted you to suffer, but because He wanted to burn away what was not meant for you. He wanted to reveal the strength that was already within you, but could only be seen under pressure. Consider the martial artist who trains for years. Every repetition of movement, every strike, every long hour of discipline is not punishment, it is preparation. Without such practice, the warrior cannot stand when the real battle arrives. You have been walking your training ground in life, though you may not have realized it. Each challenge was not wasted. It was a lesson hidden in disguise. When you fell and had to rise again, that was preparation. When you faced betrayal, it was preparation. When doors closed in your face and you felt left behind, that too was preparation. Each moment carried within it the wisdom you would one day need. You may not have asked for these lessons, but they were given to you because you were chosen for more. The chosen are not spared from storms, they are prepared through them. God does not give the hardest battles to the strongest people. He gives them to those He intends to strengthen. He places weight on your shoulders so that your spirit becomes unbreakable. He removes from your life what you thought you needed so you can see what you truly need. And in every season of pain, He whispers a truth: this is not to harm you, this is to shape you. Even when you felt forgotten, the preparation was still happening. The silence of God is never absence. It is often His greatest work. When nothing seemed to move forward, when prayers seemed unanswered, you were still being prepared. Seeds grow in silence beneath the soil. Muscles strengthen when they are torn and rebuilt, and your spirit was being stretched in the same way, though your eyes could not see it. Every trial became a step, every delay became a teacher, every loss carved space for something greater to enter. You are not being punished, you are being prepared to carry something sacred, something that ordinary people cannot carry. The truth is, preparation hurts because it transforms. You are not meant to remain who you were. You are meant to evolve into who God has always seen in you. And evolution always comes with pressure. Diamonds do not form without immense force. Warriors do not rise without training. And the chosen cannot step into destiny without first walking through the tests that prepare them. Only those chosen by God are entrusted with the heaviest burdens, because only they can endure them. The weight you have carried was not by accident. The struggles that seemed to crush you were not random. They were signs that you were chosen, that God saw in you a strength you did not even see in yourself. He never places a mountain on someone who is not meant to climb it. He never allows storms to touch the lives of those who cannot withstand them. If the path given to you has been heavy, it is because God trusted you with it. The chosen ones often live lives that look different from everyone else's. While others walk on easy roads, yours may have been filled with obstacles. While others seem to rise quickly, you had to move slowly, carrying battles no one else could see. But this is not because you are less favored, it is because you are deeply trusted. A fragile vessel cannot hold great treasures, so it is never given them. Only the strongest containers are chosen to carry what is precious. In the same way, only the strongest souls are given the responsibility of great burdens, because God knows they will not break. You might have asked yourself many times, why me? Why do I suffer like this? Why do I face hardships others seem to escape? The answer is hidden in the truth of being chosen. God does not choose you for comfort. He chooses you for purpose, and purpose requires endurance. Every challenge you were given was a sign that you were marked, not forgotten. Each trial whispered quietly, you are one of them. You are trusted with more because you are capable of more. The heaviest burdens are not given to punish but to elevate. Think of a soldier. Ordinary civilians are not asked to carry weapons or fight battles, but soldiers are. Why? Because they are trained, they are capable, they are strong enough to handle what others cannot. The chosen ones of God are like those soldiers. You were given responsibilities and trials because your soul was strong enough to bear them. What broke others did not break you. What silenced others made you rise again. That is the evidence of being chosen. It is also true that being chosen often means being misunderstood. Others may not see the battles you are carrying. They may not understand why you have scars, why you move differently, why your eyes have a depth that theirs do not. But this is the mark of the chosen. They carry invisible weights that shape their spirit in ways the world cannot understand. What they endure in silence becomes the foundation of wisdom and strength that others one day depend on. The chosen are also entrusted with patience. God allows delays, detours, and long seasons of waiting not to torment you, but because He knows you can endure them. A fragile heart would collapse under the pressure of waiting, but yours did not. Every moment you thought you were waiting endlessly was actually proof that you could be trusted to hold steady when nothing made sense. That is the strength of those who are chosen. Consider the way a tree grows. A shallow tree with weak roots cannot stand in storms, so it is never planted in difficult soil. But a mighty oak, one that is destined to grow tall and wide, is given deep soil, harsh weather, and strong winds. These conditions force its roots to dig deeper, and in time it becomes a tree that nothing can move. You have been like that oak tree. The burdens, the winds, the storms were given to you because you were chosen to stand unshakable. There is also a hidden honor in being given heavy burdens. It means God saw that you could be trusted with more than an ordinary life. He saw that you could carry pain and still keep faith. He saw that you could be wounded and still rise. He saw that you could fall but never stay down, and because of that, He chose you. The heaviest burdens are not given to the weakest, but to the ones destined to rise higher. You may not have realized it while walking through those struggles, but every heavy moment was a declaration from God. You are mine, You are chosen. You can carry this because I placed it in you to endure. The pain was not meaningless. The difficulty was not wasted. Each moment was a sign that you were entrusted with more than most people will ever know. Would you like me to move on and expand Keynote 3 into 700 words in the same deep spiritual flow so the speech continues seamlessly? Every struggle shapes you into who you were meant to become. Nothing you went through was random. The pain, the loss, the delays, the disappointments, they were not empty experiences. Each one carried within it a lesson, a transformation, a shaping force that slowly molded you into the person you are becoming. Just as the river carves the stone slowly, patiently, yet with undeniable power, your struggles have been carving you, refining your edges, giving you depth and strength that could never have been formed in comfort. If life had been easy, you would not have grown. If doors had opened effortlessly, you would not have developed resilience. If people had always supported you, you would not have discovered the strength of standing alone. It is in the struggle that character is formed. It is in the waiting that patience is born. It is in the silence that faith is strengthened. Every single hardship has been a hidden teacher. You may not have recognized the lesson in the moment, but as time passes, you begin to see how each piece was part of a greater design. Think about the butterfly. Before it spreads its wings, it must wrestle inside the cocoon. That wrestling is not a mistake. It is the very process that strengthens its wings so it can fly. If you cut open the cocoon and free it too early, the butterfly will not survive. The struggle is its preparation for freedom. In the same way, your struggles were not there to destroy you. They were there to give you the strength to rise into your destiny. Without them, you would not be ready to carry the greatness placed within you. Struggles reveal what is inside you. When everything is easy, you do not know your own strength. But when life pushes you to the edge, when you are tested beyond what you thought you could endure, something hidden within you emerges. Courage that you did not know existed rises up. Faith that seemed weak becomes unshakable. Resilience that was buried deep shows itself in the darkest moments. Every struggle has pulled out a part of you that comfort would have left sleeping. It is in the breaking that the treasure is revealed. Just as clay must be pressed and reshaped to become a vessel, your struggles pressed you, reshaped you, stretched you beyond your limits so that you could hold more than you ever imagined. You thought you were breaking, but in truth you were being remade. You thought the struggle was crushing you, but it was actually forming you into someone new. That new version of you carries wisdom, strength, and clarity that only come from the path of struggle. Your struggles have also given you empathy. Without pain, you could never understand the pain of others. Without loss, you could never comfort those who mourn. Without waiting, you could never teach patience. The struggles you faced were not only for your own growth, but also so that you could become a light for others. The scars you carry are not marks of defeat. They are proof of survival. They are the silent language that speaks to those who are still fighting, showing them that they too can endure. Even the struggles that seemed meaningless at the time are shaping you. The tears you cried in secret, the nights you thought you would not make it, the battles you never told anyone about, they were all adding strength to your spirit. Each tear watered the soil of your future. Each night of endurance stretched your capacity to hold joy when it comes. Nothing was wasted. Every struggle added another layer to your spirit, another depth to your character, another strength to your soul. The world may see your struggles as setbacks, but in truth they were setups. They pushed you out of places you did not belong. They closed doors that were never meant for you. They ended relationships that would have kept you small. Each struggle carried you closer to your true path, even if it felt like it was pulling you apart. The design was always there, hidden inside the difficulty. You are not the same person you were before your struggles. You think differently now, you see differently, you speak differently, your spirit carries a weight, a depth, a wisdom that only comes through fire. The person you were could not hold the destiny waiting for you. The struggles were shaping you into the person who can. Now that you have endured, the hidden truth is ready to be revealed. For so long, you may have felt like life was keeping secrets from you, as if there was a greater meaning behind everything you faced, but you could not yet grasp it. You walked through seasons of silence, carrying questions with no answers, wondering why the road was so hard. But the truth is that revelation comes only after endurance. Only when the test has been passed does the teacher reveal the full lesson. Only when the seed has endured its dark season underground does it finally break open to the light. Your endurance was the signal that you were ready to know what had been hidden from you all along. Endurance is not simply about surviving. It is about continuing to walk forward when everything in you wants to stop. It is about holding faith when the evidence around you seems empty. It is about keeping hope alive even when the night feels endless. And because you endured, because you did not let the weight crush your spirit, you now stand at the threshold of understanding. The truths that were once hidden are now within reach because you have proven that your spirit can carry them. There are things God does not reveal to everyone. There are insights, wisdoms, and deeper truths that are reserved only for those who have walked through the fire and remained faithful. If everyone could see them, they would not carry power. If everyone could hold them, they would not be sacred. You endured what many could not, and that endurance has opened the door for revelation. The truth was never far from you, but it waited until your spirit was strong enough to receive it. The truth is that you were never abandoned, not for a single moment. Even in silence, God was guiding your steps. Even in pain, He was shaping your path. Even in loss, He was clearing space for something greater. The struggles that looked like destruction were actually construction. The delays that looked like wasted time were actually divine timing. Every season had meaning, though it was hidden until you endured long enough to see it. Endurance has also revealed who you truly are. You are not weak, as you once believed. You are not forgotten, as you once feared. You are chosen, strengthened, and prepared. Every scar on your heart is not proof of failure, but evidence of victory. Every wound has closed into wisdom. Every moment of silence has turned into clarity. Endurance has stripped away illusions and left behind the truth of who you are in the eyes of God. Now that you have endured, you can see that the very struggles you cursed were the same struggles that carried you to this point. Without them, you would not be ready. Without them, you would not have the strength to hold the truths that are now being revealed. What once looked like punishment is now seen as preparation. What once looked like delay is now seen as alignment. The hidden truth is that you were always on the path, even when you thought you were lost. There is also a truth about your purpose that endurance has uncovered. The gifts placed inside you, the calling on your life, the destiny waiting for you. It could not be awakened without pressure. Endurance has been the key to unlocking what was hidden within. You now understand that you were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were meant to rise, to carry light, to speak strength into the lives of others, and only through endurance could that mission be revealed to you in full. Endurance transforms vision. Where once you only saw obstacles, now you see opportunities. Where once you saw rejection, now you see redirection. Where once you felt abandoned, now you recognize divine presence. The hidden truth is not only about God's plan, it is also about your perception. Endurance has sharpened your eyes to see reality more clearly, to understand the patterns of life, to trust the timing of destiny. What was hidden from you before was not withheld as punishment. It was withheld until you had eyes to see and a spirit strong enough to hold it. Now that you have endured, the hidden truth is that you were never walking alone. The unseen hand that carried you in your darkest hours is the same hand that now lifts you into the light. What you thought was silence was actually presence in disguise. What you thought was absence was actually protection. The hidden truth is that you were carried all along, not because you were weak, but because you were chosen to rise at this moment, to know what others could not know, to see what others could not see,